Some people have wondered why I haven't done a turtle video in a while, and I guess the reason is that they get kind of repetitive after a while. It's the same thing over and over again. But I've decided to just take a few clips I put together over the last couple weeks and put them together and put out a little video. They're always kind of the same, but they are always a little bit different as well. So here you see Fern. This is the most injured turtle in the tank. She was hit by a car, and those of you who've looked, she's eating some catfish there, who've seen previous videos on her know how badly injured she was. Her shell, her skull was fractured, her jaw was fractured, both the upper and lower jaw. Eye was slightly dislocated. She was pretty messed up, and she's made a huge recovery. When I feed the turtles, I scatter. Whether it's some kind of fish or shrimp or chicken, whatever, I scatter it all around the tank, and the turtles are forced to hunt like they would in the wild to find bits of food. The catfish are also in the fray. They're doing the same thing. But anyway, with Fern here, she still has neurological damage. She still has difficulties aiming her head. So if you try to give her something that's over her head, she simply can't get to it. Her head goes off in an odd direction. She cannot focus on the food, whether it's her vision or a neurological issue with her neck, I don't know. But if the food is below her, she can usually get to it fairly well. Her jaw doesn't open all the way, it never will probably, but if the food is soft and easy to grab, she can get it in her mouth and get it down. She has laid eggs, although she has not been able to do it without assistance. We've had to give her oxytocin. She will carry the eggs and start having difficulty with buoyancy, and that could be also a result of the accident. And so we've had to induce the egg laying. Here you see some Cory Catfish. Got a bunch of those in the tank, along with some darters and some ghost shrimp. The ghost shrimp do eventually get eaten, or many of them do. There's a few that have survived and gotten quite large, as a matter of fact. That's Esther right there. She's a rescue off the street a couple years ago, and is doing really well in the tank. She's healthy, and she could be released at some point in the future, but right now she seems to do so well in here, we're keeping her. She's a fun turtle to watch. Has a unique design under her chin, the colors under her chin. I don't know if we'll get a view of that here in the video, but there's Big Muddy, our biggest turtle, and our matriarch, tank matriarch. We've had her since 2004. And she, as a hatchling, rescued her off the street. She lays eggs rather frequently, including this morning. She laid 4 eggs this morning. And she's out hunting for food as well. She's underneath a ramp there that leads up to the Sandbox, which is the egg-laying area. There's going to be, on the left side there, you see a log, or a couple of logs. Those are acrylic logs. Since this video has been made, I replaced that with a big cypress log that I found out in the river, and moved those double logs over to the right side shallow area. That's Romeo in the background. That's the only male in the tank. We have 4 females and 1 male, all mud turtles, 3 striped mud turtles. And there's Esther. You can see the unique design on her chin. It's kind of pretty, kind of a jagged design. She's probably carrying eggs. She runs over Fern like Fern was a little log. And here you see Katie. She exhibited some rather strange behavior. She's on top of Muddy there, and she tries to mount Muddy in some kind of a strange display of dominance or false mating, as you can see. However, once she laid her eggs, which she did about a week ago, she got over this behavior and she's normal again. So very strange behavior. No biting or any kind of hostilities, and Muddy was very tolerant of Katie's bizarre activities. Katie's another rescue. She was very sick. Oh, here's the cypress wood I was telling you about that I got from the river, and that's Fern on the right and Romeo on the left, basking under the UV, UVA, UVB heat lamp. Oh, and Katie also up there. You can see Katie on the far right. So we got 3 turtles basking there all at one time. And underneath the log, got a couple of plastic plants, and Fern really likes to hang out under there. Those are plastic ferns that are hanging on the back. Now here's a sandbox, 16 inches by 12 inches. It's 4 inches deep, and that's where the egg laying goes on. And now here's where the double logs are on the shallow water platform on the right side. 2 shallow water platforms. I believe strongly that turtles should have both deep and shallow water. There's Esther getting something to eat, and there's Fern getting into the log. Turtles in the wild have shallow and deep water, and so I think in captivity they should have the same thing. There's Muddy, Big Muddy. There's a little ramp that is in front of the, or a little area you can slip into, kind of a little cove underneath the ramp by the sandbox that some of the turtles sometimes crawl in there and hang out. Yep, that's a rock. And Fern found something there to eat. And Esther continues to hunt. These turtles are looks like Muddy's going to try to get that piece. It's way underneath that Mopani wood. She's going to work at that. The girls are ferocious eaters, and they'll steal food from each other and from the little male, Romeo. Romeo's the smallest turtle in the tank, and he mates with all 4 of the girls, but when it comes to feeding time, the girls are wicked. They'll steal food from Romeo without a second thought, and poor Romeo just looks so befuddled when it happens. He never steals from the girls, but they'll steal from him in a minute. And that's Big Muddy. So glad she laid those eggs this morning. And that's an update. All 5 turtles are doing real well. There's Fern again. And I'll do another video soon.